Okay, hopefully you tried that, and if not, let's see how we evaluate these expressions. Okay, so first things first, as we know, the precedence of operators is you first evaluate the comparison operators, right? So these would be evaluated first from left to right, obviously. Okay, these would be evaluated first. The next thing is the logical operators, and inside the logical operators and will be evaluated first. Okay, so the order is this would be evaluated first and then this. Okay, similarly and would be evaluated first and then the entire thing. Okay, so with that in mind, let's see what these expressions evaluate to. Okay, so let's start with the first row. Okay, so we have a equals 1, b equals -5, and c equals 7. Now, obviously, we'll start with the and. Okay, we'll first do the individual ones. So, is c greater than b? Okay, c is 7, b is -5. So, yes, c is indeed greater than b, and this evaluates to true. I'll just say t for true. Okay, is c greater than is c greater than 2? Yes, it is because c is 7. So, this is also true. Now, the and evaluates to true if both of them are true, which in this case they are. So the entire thing would be true. Okay, the entire expression c greater than b and c greater than 2 is true. Okay, now the way or works is if either of these are true, then or will return true, right? And you can use that information to just infer that this will be true because you don't need to check this one anymore. It's irrelevant. You don't need to check it. Okay, doesn't matter if it's true or false, as long as at least one of them is true. In which case, in this case, it is right. The second part is true. So the way or works is if even one of them is true, it will return true. And in this case, the second part is true, so or will return true. Okay, so this expression, the entire expression will evaluate to true. Okay. Uh, so what about the second part? So notice that the first and the second expression is exactly the same, right? The first and the second expressions are exactly the same except the not part. Okay. So all the not does is it takes the result, or it evaluates the result of this expression right here, and it flips it. Okay. If this is true, not will give you false, and vice versa. And because this is the same expression as this, is the same expression, right? These are the same expressions, right? So if this is true, not of this will give you false, obviously, right? So that's our first row. Okay. What about the second one? Let me clear this again. What about the second one? The second one says a equals 10, b equals 10, c equals 3. Okay. So is c greater than b? Is c greater than b? C is actually not greater than b. Okay. C is 3, b is 10. So this will evaluate to false. Is c greater than 2? Yes, it is. It is, right? It is. So this will be true. But doesn't matter. We didn't need to check that. Okay, we didn't even need to check that because the way and works is if one of them is false, and will give you false regardless of the other one. So this entire thing would be false. You don't even need to check the second one. This would be false. Okay? So this is false. The entire result now depends upon this comparison. If this is true, the final result would be true. If this is false, the final result would be false. Okay. So what about this one? Is a greater than 2? Yes, it is. A is 10. So this is true. And because or needs either one of them to be true, and we have it true in the left hand side, this will also evaluate to true, which means this will evaluate to false again. Okay. Now, what about the third row? What about the third row? Let me clear this again. The third row says C equals minus 9 and B equals minus 2. So as you know that when you have negative numbers, the larger absolute value would be the smaller, right? So minus 9 is actually smaller than minus 2. So C greater than B evaluates to false. And again, because this evaluates to false, we don't even need to check the other ones. Obviously, it doesn't matter, right? It's irrelevant at this point. If one of them is false, the entire and would be false. Okay, so this is false. Again, the entire result depends upon this comparison right here, a greater than 2. Now, a is minus 4, which is obviously smaller than 2, so this is also false. Now, because both are false, or would also give you false, right? So this would be false. And because this is the not, it will give you true. Okay, so that's the solution to this problem.